Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to IRL Season 7 F1 Tier Round 12 at Brazil. I'm your commentator, Jared Fosbury, or IRL Neon. I am joined by Kevin Harrison, or as Aspect.
Hello.
And unfortunately today we won't be able to run OBS as the person who runs that today is unavailable. However, it'll be a regular stream. As you saw last week, the Constructors' title was won by the Williams team, and the Drivers' Championship was won by Matthew Alder in the Williams. There's not really to fight for the championship's sake. We set positions for certain drivers, so could Cameron move up the field to take second place? We'll have to wait and see. And who's going to win the fight between the Haas and the Ferraris as well? As we will look on the point stands as we wait for the drivers to ready up then. In the constructor standings, as Williams are the champions then first, Mercedes are going to in second, McLaren could challenge them today in third place if Mercedes don't score a lot of points, so McLaren could move up to second. Renault in fourth, Racing Point in fifth, Ferrari in sixth, just 1 point ahead of Haas in seventh. Toro Rosso in a lonely eighth, could possibly challenge the Haas if they don't score points. Red Bull and Alfa Romeo could challenge each other for the ninth position in the constructors if Red Bull or Alfa Romeo have a bad day. In the drivers' point of view, as Jay Drawbridge has being banned to the end of the season, he won't be able to hold that second place day if Jack Levity scores points, as Jack Levity is tying with 102 points. Matthew Alder won the championship in Japan. He's got 194 points to his name. As Cameron Young is in fourth with 78 points, could challenge for third place in the championship. Same with Pedro. And possibly Brandon, if Cameron and Pedro have a bad day, could possibly challenge for fourth place in the championship today. So it's going to be a very interesting little championship fights for positions in the Drivers' Championship, even though the championship and the Constructors has been wrapped up. What do you think of that, Kevin?
I think there's as you said, pretty much most things are wrapped up. So there's not as much to fight for, of course. There is still some things still going. As you kind of mentioned, the Constructors. Mercedes and McLaren are still quite close together on points. The lower guys as well, quite close, especially from 5th to 7th. So like any bit of points could shake that up. And yeah, near the top, maybe Cameron Young. It's still possible that he snatches P2 if he gets a win, and Jack Levity doesn't get too much points. He could just about snatch it. Of course, then that would mean that Matthew Alder wouldn't be winning the race, which is kind of unlikely, as of course he doesn't have Jay to fight him anymore. So yeah, a few things still to fight for, despite no championship left.
That's true, of course, and while we are here, I've just got to make sure, could you do the tweet for the Twitter if you've already done it, just in case Sandra asks. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting race, especially between the Williams drivers. Matthew said he could possibly let Cameron win today, but if he's in the winning position, he's not going to let him through. Cameron will have to fight for that. I wonder what the weather's going to be like for the final round this season. It's going to be very interesting what the weather's going to be. It's Brazil. Could have a bit of rain, but no, at the moment it is dry in the qualifying session. As we'll get all the data up for you guys to see. And there we go. We have 19 people today, which is an awesome turnout, especially when this game is on its closing cycle, because 2020 won't be that long now, only roughly a month, unless you got the extra days, and it's exactly a month. But while we wait now for the drivers to start up their engines, it's going to be very interesting. I wonder which is the only driver with no teammate today. I think it's not the Red Bull, as Brett has made it today. Is it Lewis? It is Lewis. Lewis yet again is on his own today. That's going to be a shame for him. As one of the Haas drivers, I believe that's Diego. No, it's actually Casper. Casper will be the first one then out on track. I'll just make sure my game sound is correct. On the party audio. Yep, game sounds good. So right now then, Casper is out on an outlap on the soft tyres there, Kevin, in the Haas. It's going to be very interesting what strategy they do. I think it's a soft and medium strat all the way through this race.
Yeah, you would be right in saying that. And of course then if you start in the mediums, it makes that a little bit easier. The hards is also a viable option if you go on them earlier, because they can of course go so long. The game doesn't say that you can make a soft medium work, I don't think, but of course you can, because the mediums can go like probably like halfway to like 3/4 distance, 3/4 would be pushing it. But yeah, you can take them a while, so if the safety car right at the start, you could pit for hards and make a strategy work that way, which is actually kind of similar to Japan last week, as we saw Matthew of course made that work onto hards early and took the win in the end.
That is true, of course, and Casper's setting the first sector 69, which I don't know if it's good or bad, as I'm not at these guys' pace, so I don't really know what the split times are going to be good at. Although Casper will be provisionally on pole, as he is the first one out on a lap. Goes down the second gear there. Not really keen on pushing, so I think he's backed off. Has he invalidated? Yes, he has. Just the track map didn't show me. The Mercedes was next. Now I believe that was Brandon Glover, so we'll go on board with him, who hasn't invalidated, as Brandon's been really struggling in that Mercedes all season long. As the Haas driver moves out of the way, and Brandon will be first on the medium tyre. Now if there's a safety car in this race, the hard tyre, as you said, will be a decent option to pit on and go to the end of the race like Matthew did in Japan. As here comes Brandon then to the line. Let's see what time he will do. And it's a 1:10 flat provisional pole position, and the Ferrari, I believe, of Devin will be on a lap next. Kevin, if you want to go on board with him.
I'm just doing the tweet, so if you take his lap, I should be done by then.
As Jack Lamptey takes pole position with an 8 flat there, 2 seconds quicker than Brandon on a different compound of tyre. We're going an onboard view on Devin. Let's see what his split time. It's 16.7. He's quicker than Diego in the first sector. See how he is in the second part of this game. Good evening to Jonas. Welcome to the stream. Devin looks like he's slowly catching up on the Haas there, so either the Haas has made another mistake, as Dane Starr's moved to third with an 8.7, Lewis Curtis an 8.4 in second place. As there's yellow flags in sector 2. And there's more yellow flags in sector 3. That's the Mercedes. They're getting out of the way for Diego. And Devin is currently purple in sector 2. Now sometimes the track guide can be wrong, but I don't think it will be. I think Oli Favell is next up after the Ferrari. Here comes Devin. Takes pole, 1:7.9. And Ollie has invalidated there, and I think Brett is next up. Actually, no, it's actually... I think both Red Bulls invalidated, and that's not good for them, as Jack Yates then is on a lap. Already out of ERS. And that's not going to be good for him. He's going to lose a lot of time, and he does a 9.1 there. So he goes provisional 6th place with Devin in first right now. As I believe this is Fran, and he peels into the pits, so he wasn't happy with that soft run. Now we'll go back on board with Ollie Favell, who's still continuing on his lap right now, and he's picking up the pace in sector 2 now. Let's go on and on board. See how he takes it compared to the other drivers. He's had a very tough season this season in McLaren. The driver's standings, he's currently in 11th with 50 points, so he could move 2 positions today. Or actually, possibly a few more if Brandon and Lewis Curtis don't score any points. It's possibly 4 positions gain if he could win the race or take a podium. But he's now coming to the line. Let's see what Ollie can do then. Taking the shortest way around. There's a Haas there into the wall. Ollie takes third then, and that was Casper. Casper is game over. He's now in P7 as Cameron Young just does a lap time of a 8.6 on mediums, quicker than a few of the drivers on softs, and quicker than the drivers in the Mercedes team already. So Cameron is showing some good pace in that Williams right now, and he's giving Matthew a bit of slipstream. So yet again, more perfect teamwork between the Williams drivers. Matthew is 16.9 in sector 1, slower than Devin. Let's see what he can do in the final 2 sectors, as Matthew hasn't really got much else to prove this season. He's done what he's set out to do. He is the first 2-time world champion in the IRL's history. As he's now finishing off the lap then, let's see what his sector 2 time is. It's a 52 flat, purple, so he's up on his time. And he's closing on Devin's time, and he's on mediums, Matthew is as well. So Matthew's going to really do a very solid lap as McLaren gets out of the way there. And here comes Matthew Order to the line. What time will it be? It's an 8.5, so beats his teammate just by a tenth with the slipstream. So Cameron may have the pace on Matthew today. And Matthew is in 7th now as the Renault driver takes the position from him, who's moved to 6th place.
And I am back now, Jared.
Okay, that's great
so
news.
I'll be able to
Pedro's on a lap.
well.
Pedro's finishing his lap actually. Nope, he's coming. No, he actually is finished his lap. Here he comes then to the line. 1.8 flat. Wow, look how close this grid is. 100th exactly, Pedro and Jack Laverty are from each other. Wow, good lap there from Pedro. Dato's actually about to start lap, Kevin, if you want to go on board with him.
Should be just getting some things in order. Okay. Yeah, there we go. You said Dane Stars?
Yeah, he's about to start his lap right now.
Okay, there it is. So yeah, coming down the start finish straight, the best place to be making overtakes is it takes quite a wide line there. You don't want to be doing that on your lap. It'd be a bit longer of a run. So coming through the first few corners, you want to make sure you don't invalidate, especially in turn 2 and at the exit. Coming through turn 3, don't want to go too wide, and he does just that. So coming through to turn 4 now, want to maximize your exit, because this exit will affect you all the way down to this double right-hander. I'm pretty sure it is. I don't think it's a triple. It is a double there, yeah. So through turns 5 and 6, and now through turn 7 down to 2nd gear, and you want to get down to 1st gear momentarily there to make sure you can get the maximum turn. And then I think that was a bit of lag. I don't think he actually lost the car. So yeah, now through this flat out left-hander, and then to the final braking zone it is, and you'll get a little bit of slippery off the Red Bull maybe, which will help him down this straight. He's done everything he can. All he can do is keep that throttle down and see what lap he can set. What lap can he set? He's currently on an 8.7, and he sets an 8.4, 4 tenths off pole at the moment, 4 or 5 tenths off.
That is true, of course, and that is a very good lap. Dainsfield's now picking up the pace in the Mercedes car. He's only been in this Mercedes seat for 2 rounds, and he's already getting the grips and already picking up the pace compared to his teammate Brandon Glover, who's in 15th right now in the pits on the mediums. And he's the only person to do a 10 flat. However, Eric has done a 12.9. And the Bottle Hauger's done a 9.2 on a set of soft tyres as well. So we'll go on board with Diego, as his teammate Casper fortunately retired trying to come to the pit lane, it looked like. And he went straight into the barrier. And the car is ruined. Hopefully that Hasty can get that done before the race. Jack Lampsey sets the new fastest lap, 17.944. It's a couple of hundredths faster than Devin. Devin's about to set another lap time though. He is on an outlap as he lets the Renault through in sector 1. It's Diego now going through the final couple of corners. What time will he be? Wow, Elting in the Red Bull does a 17.6. Reserve driver. Good lap time from him. And Casper now drops down to 15th. I think Casper's now going to drop down to 16th. Dale comes to the line, goes 7th with a 1:8.1. These times are really close together, and this is going to be a very competitive grid today.
It certainly looks like it.
Sorry, goes
looking at
9th.
Matthew Alder as well, he hasn't shown his representative pace yet, but he is on a lap if you want to go on board with him, Jared.
Who's that?
Coming through turns 6 and 7.
Ah, you're not Matthew.
They should be. Oh, invalidated.
Matthew invalidated. What about Cameron? He hasn't, but he's not improving on his time, unfortunately. I think Bran is actually on an outlap if you want to go on board with him, Kevin. He is about to start a flying lap, as we've only got 6 minutes remaining in the session.
Yes, down this straight. His teammate chose a bit of a different line there. He chooses, I think, it's a better line as he locks up into turn 1, coming through turns 2 and turns 3. Have to maximise how much shock he can use without track extending, and he's done that quite well. As someone else went quicker, was that someone going P2? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was the Renault driver. I'll try and find his name because I should have it somewhere.
Through turns 6 and 7, Matthew invalidated here on his last lap. He doesn't do that. He keeps his lap validated, so now through turn 9, I think it is. Not completely sure, but yeah, he finishes sector through coming out of here. How much time has he gained? We'll see in a second. He is gaining actually 8/10 quicker, so this could be a pretty decent time. Going down the start finish straight now, not much time to gain in sector 3, so we'll see where he puts himself. Only 17th.
That's how close this grid is. It is literally really close from 17th to 1st. And that Renault driver is actually Mike, who isn't a reserve actually. He was in the Renault last week, and Mike was his old PSN name. He's made a new PSN name, and that is Mike there in 3rd place. So Pedro in 4th, could possibly for another win. Eltink is Kaj Eltink. Apologies if I get your name wrong there, my friend. And Devin is... Yeah, Devin. And Devin is in the Ferrari in 2nd place currently right now. And I believe that is Fran in 19th. The Alfa Romeo team hasn't changed. He's also changed his PSN name. And he's the only person who hasn't done a lap time yet. Going to get a little bit of slipstream from his teammate. Only a tiny bit from Jamie. As Jamie did start in the Alfa Romeo this season, then left, and then came back. And the Red Bull team wanted him back. As Doug Bigger says, he doesn't see any donuts. And that is correct. It is a shame that we don't see any donuts. Could see possible donuts near the end of the session or the end of the race. Although Fran is on a lap time right now. I think he's on his wheel today, to be honest. He might be on his wheel. It's been a while since we've seen Fran on track. I think it's been a couple of rounds. And here comes Fran then. Through the final couple of corners, currently purple in sector 2. So could Fran challenge for pole? Or be up there at least? As Cameron's up there in 5th with a 7.9. Matthew Alder in 14th at 1:8.5.
He decides to bail on his lap. Obviously he wants to get a lap right at the end. He should have enough time, although he has left it quite late.
Lewis Curtis is about to start a lap, and I did say to Matthew, I believe in the interview, unless I didn't pick it up, I would like him to start last today, but unfortunately it looks like that isn't going to happen. He's currently 14th at the moment, so it's going to be at the back of the grid anyway. But here comes Lewis Curtis now. He's about to start his lap, and let's see how he can take the first couple of corners. Nice entry to turn 1 and 2. Try and straighten the car as much as he can, and I think he's invalidated there. Well, he wasn't happy with it, at least. Possibly because of traffic, actually, as well. Ferrari lets him through, but Lewis Curtis won't be happy with that. He's got to go back round the track and buy his time. And I believe that's actually Ollie Flavel, Kevin, if you want to go on board with him, who's about to start his lap time.
Yeah, so obviously Ollie has in the past put himself in potential podium positions. He has been pretty good at that throughout the season. almost got a win in France as well, so we'll see how well he can do in the final round. So through turns 1, 2 and 3 look pretty tidy. Doesn't look like he has any traffic up ahead of him. Clear track, it is actually quite clear, and he's not going to run into any traffic. So through turns 4 and flat out turn 5, coming up to turn 6 and 7, it is you got to get the line pretty much perfect so you can be full throttle as early as possible to maximize that exit. Now through this kind of twisty S section, I guess you could call it, coming in to finish sector 2, just flat out left-hander. I don't really think many people like it that much because it's just not a very fun corner, at least not for me. But yeah, coming through to finish his lap now, full throttle of course. He can't do anything else to improve his lap. Let's see what he can do. He puts himself P9, so not a massive improvement, but of course you can see how close the grid is. Another few tenths and he could have been 5th or 4th even.
Yep, that is true, of course, and I believe this is Brett now coming up to the line, as we've only got 30 seconds remaining of the session. Sometimes it could be wrong, we could have still a whole minute, as there's a lot of people off the track there. Is that Matthew Alder in that? There's been an incident where you said you don't like that corner. Is that Sondre? It is, as he caused an incident, and he won't be setting a good lap time, I'll tell you that, especially with the traffic he's going to get. But I think he may have caused an incident. I think Brett's gone off. Well, that's Elting. He's gone off. He's retired manually. Just got on board of Brett then after he had a half-season ban. He's only managed to make a couple of rounds in the last part of the season. And Luke, Jay got banned for his actions in Italy. A couple of race bans. So he will be back next season. But right now, though, we're on board with Brett, who is back in the Red Bull today. Unfortunately, his other teammate Felix Negwal couldn't make it today. You can see that Brett's struggling with the rear end a little bit. And at times from Devin, Diego, Jack Laverty, Sondra Sohaug and Jack Yates all have finished their lap times. Pedro moves up to P3. And here comes the Red Bull of Brett. What time will he set to the line? A 1:08.4, only gets him 14th. This is how close the grid is. And the next person up is actually Brandon Glover. He's a 10th and a bit up. What time will he be? An 8.8. He's actually 17th, so not even with the improvement doesn't get higher. Matthew Order invalidates, stays 15th. Eric isn't next. Actually, that's everybody done their laps there. Go Kevin, I'm very surprised how close this grid is, especially with Brandon's lap time he put. He could have been up there, but unfortunately he's near the back of the grid as we now go down the grid lineup.
2 people with 5 place grid penalties.
Jack and Eric.
Probably,
that was probably the pile-up.
Involved, the pile-up in the final braking zone at least. That is interesting. That might be investigated, although I'm not sure if people would bother as much as it's the last round.
Oh yeah, that is true, of course, and we'll go down a couple of drivers then before the time does run out. Elting then takes the lead in the Red Bull, Devin in 2nd and Pedro in 3rd place, with Mike in 4th, Lewis Curtis in 5th. And I'm very surprised actually, Kevin, that neither Williams driver qualified on the podium or in the top 3 position. It was very interesting that.
Yeah, I can keep going through. In 6th is Diego, then...
Yep.
Oh, it's raining. Yeah, in 6th is Diego, 7th Cameron Young, 8th Jack Leverty, 9th is Eric, 10th is Ollie. Then in 11th, would have had a free choice of tyre, but of course everyone does now, is Jamie Morris. In 12th is Stainstar, 13th Bottlehaug. 14th is Brett, and I don't actually have anyone after that, but that's down to 14th.
That's alright, we'll round up the rest of the grid when the formation lap does continue. But race prediction then, in the wet weather conditions, when we do see the grid, with these wet conditions, it looks like it's into tyres. Do you think the weather may continue, or do you think it could dry up near the end of the race and go dries?
yeah, everyone out on inches. So as you said, that is exactly what's happened. I don't know, because injuries usually aren't too bad when it gets heavy rain, and if the heavy rain did come, it'll probably end up going back to light later on. So I'd say everyone will probably end up staying on the inches. I think wets might be risking it, because if it goes back to inches conditions, the inches aren't even bad in the full wet. So I think everyone will probably stay out on inters, and then there might be someone at the back or someone up the front who just chances their arm, and maybe it'll come out as a better strategy, as we saw in Germany actually. Wet race where Pedro stuck on a set of wets, Matthew stayed out in inters, which weren't horrible, but obviously the wets ended up being the better tire, so we'll see how that plays out by the end.
Yep, over the end of the race then, and Matthew Order then, as we will round up the rest of the grid. Matthew Order qualified in 15th, Jack Yates in 16th, couldn't set another lap time there after, I think he had a contact with one of the McLarens. Brandon in 17th, Casper 18th with a crash he had, Fran in 19th, Eric drops to 14th with the 5 grid place penalty and got disqualified with Brett on the formation lap. Jack Laverty dropped to 12th with a 5 grid place penalty. And track position round here, especially in these conditions at the moment, will be crucial, because some of the drivers could pull away. As we're about to get to the start sequence of the lights with the Red Bull driver of L Tink or Kaj taking pole position. Next to him is the Ferrari of Devin, and then the 2 Renaults in 3rd and 4th, with Pedro 3rd and Mike 4th. Pedro has won in these conditions before, so could we see another win for the Renault team, or will it be one of the Williams drivers or the Mercedes? As if you can look at the back of the grid, Kevin, and I'll look at the front in case a massive crash happens. And I have actually either Nat tight or desync with one of the Ferraris, and that's Jack Yates apparently. So you'll have the actual Jack Yates position. So now we move up to 4 red lights, now 5 red lights to the start of the final round of Season 7 in the F1 tier, and the lights are out, and it looks like the Red Bulls had an okay start. Same with the Renaults, and one of the McLarens further back has had, oh, there's already cut out, and there's a crash further behind, and that is the Bottle Hog, I think, or is that Eric?
No, that's Eric approaching turn 1. Didn't even get to turn 1, he just lost it on his own. It looks like I was on board with Matthew.
Fran's got major front wing damage
and
there.
Safety car, full safety car already.
Already a full safety car, not even turn 1, and there's a full safety car. And I'm not surprised. Carbon fibre flew everywhere, and especially if you turn 3. And it's unfortunate. Well, it's actually a bit of luck for Fran there. He can get a new front wing. Same with Eric. And it looks like Jack Yates has been caught up with this, even though he was nowhere near the grid. He's got hardly any wing. I don't know if that's like that for you.
Who were you saying?
Jack Yates, Iceman, because for some reason for me he's like really far off the pace and nowhere near.
It looks like he has a small bit of wing damage. Don't have a great.
What position is he in for you?
See it for, he's in 17th.
For me he's
right
19th, now. So he is at the back of the grid then, technically. So, oh then, could people pit in for inters or wet tyres if they make another wet?
I got a good look there.
Oh, he has lost his wing, okay. Just keep an eye on any position.
The right end plate is gone, definitely. So you'll have to pit.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, we won't get a good angle on any moves Jack Yates makes because of this glitch, unfortunately. But none of the front runners peeling the pits. Ollie Favell is in. Anybody else? So Ollie didn't have
Jack
any
Yates is in.
Eric's in, and yeah,
you can't see that, but
well, it says he's in the pits.
So Ollie, Jack Yates, Eric, and Fran all in at the same time, coming from the back. So looks like everyone else didn't really go for it.
That's true then. Also, everyone has to keep in mind to keep a bit away from the safety car, because hopefully you don't get the safety car glitch. If you do get the safety car glitch, stay behind the safety car, because if you overtake you will be disqualified, and it'll be a shame, especially for the finale of today's race. As right now it looks, yeah, Tyler Jack has just glitched into the lead. He will be back at the back of the grid eventually. It'll probably fix itself later on, in the race, but Kaj is in first, Devin second, Pedro in third, and Mike in fourth. Let's see if anyone gained any big positions from the start. Brandon Glover and Brett and Casper. Brandon gained 4 and Casper and Brett gained 3.
If you have another invite, you could leave and rejoin because it's under safety car. You won't miss anything.
Nah, it's not risky. I don't want to miss. I don't want to let the stream miss out. It doesn't matter, but it might fix itself later on. To be honest, because you never know, someone could easily pit. But no, I'll keep it in mind. If there's no safety car, I might do it. So, but I know roughly where Jackie Yates is now anyway, to be honest. As right now though, the conditions aren't letting up. There's not any blue streaks in the sky. It's a little bit lighter, I think, possibly. 100% on that. That'd be interesting actually, Kevin, if it does brighten up. Do you think it's got chances of brightening up in the race, or do you think it's just going to stay like this? Because right now I think it is going to stay into conditions all the way through the race.
I'm going to say it's going to dry up. Some of the clouds look a little broken up, so I feel like maybe right at the end we'll have dry conditions.
Okay, then the safety car will be coming in this lap then, but Ollie, Eric and Fran and Jackie Yates will both have fresher tyres than everybody else, so they can probably last an extra lap, possibly gain some crucial time. And I think it will be a 2-stop on the inter conditions. I think 15 laps, the most the inters probably can do around here. Could be a push to do a 2-stop, don't need a 1-stop, but I think a 2-stop will be the safest bet. Callum, behave, you know. The safety car is in this lap then, and Kaj is slowing the field down to any pace he needs to. He could go 1 mile an hour if he wanted to. It isn't against the rules. Cameron Young is in 6th then. Who'll get a better restart? Will anybody get 5-second penalties actually as well? We've got to have a look because people will want Devin to try and win, it looks like. As Kaj hasn't gone yet, which is interesting. Let's see when he goes, and he's bolted now. Devin doesn't get a good start and could be possibly challenged by both the Renault drivers. And let's have a look on Pedro. Could he make a move on the inside into turn 1 to dive? No, he stays behind, but there's a further fight for P7. Oh, and there's a Renault off. That is Mike completely misjudged his braking point, and he is completely off the track, and he's going to lose a lot of positions. As his yellows in sector 1, apparently my track map isn't showing it. I think that was because Mike rejoined dangerously on track. But right now Cameron Young makes a move on Lewis Curtis. He gets the position he needs to try and win this race, and he gets by. Now moves up to P4. Lewis Curtis drops to P5 right now, and there's a further fight behind with Diego and Dainstar.
Yeah, and Jesus, Jamie Morris, and I think that is Ollie Flavel as well, going side by side. And then not too far behind them, Bottlehagen, Jackie Yates, almost going side by side, is Sondre loses position to Jack Levity. Jesus, like 3 side by side. I swear. What one do we look at?
Well, I'm on board with Ollie. It's the most promising fight we have at the moment between the McLarens and the Alfa Romeo. Cameron says Sondre for the win.
Looks
that
like
could
Jack
be a
Levity has a run on Ollie as well. He might be able to have a look into turn 1. He has just a little bit more straight line speed, of course, the slipstream helping out, so he will be pulling to the inside. And he's going to try and outbrake him as Jamie goes really deep and hits Brandon Glover. Brandon's round. Is that a Haas round as well, or got affected
No, he
by
just
that
made a mistake. Oh,
well, I'm not sure.
A bit more contact between Casper and Ollie there, and that has opened the door for JME. But as you said, there was contact there between Jamie and Brand, did you say?
Yeah, Jamie went way too deep and hit the back of Brandon Glover, and I think it hindered Cassidy as well, because he's lost position to Jack Levity. So Jack Levity getting 2 positions in a pretty much 1 or 2 corners, I would say.
Well, Jamie's left the session, so he won't be allowed to rejoin. So that's unfortunate for him. So he will be last technically in the race. And yeah, at the moment, Casper's car, there's no sign of damage on his wing. Could have a little bit of minor where it's not showing us. But Ollie is looking really hungry for that position. Casper didn't have a good qualifying. He lost control.
Eric has spun just in front of his teammate, and he goes around. And also, Jack Yates takes advantage and gets past Sondre there.
Well, he's past Sondre.
Yeah, for real he is, yeah.
He's
Maybe
just in
not for
between
you.
on mine. He's in between.
It's a shame as well, because him and Sondre are actually having a nice little battle, I don't know if I'm watching.
And there's another fight for 12. Ollie makes a move on Casper then. And that's the position gained. And Dane... Well, actually, there's a fight for the lead. What's happened to Kaj? Kaj was in the lead earlier, and he's now not in the lead. When did he get dropped into that position? Cameron's now 3rd place. And Pedro is actually challenging for the win right now against Devin. We did miss that. And Cooper did say that in chat, Devin's winning right now, and I didn't realise he actually was being serious.
Oh, was Fran gone off? Was that Fran? It was Fran.
Has he got damage?
No damage, but it looks like his rear isn't too happy right now. It looks like he is a bit prone to spinning.
Oh, speaking about a person who isn't prone to spinning and is gaining a bit of time, is Cameron Young. He's currently in 3rd place in the Williams. He started in 6th, I believe. And he's having a good, strong pace right now, slowly catching up as Yell's in Sector 2. That was Fran again.
That is for Fran, yeah it is.
I think he's really struggling in these conditions on the wheel, possibly. Gap now between Pedro, Devin and Cameron's 1.2 seconds. Actually 1.5 actually from Devin. So pulled away a little bit in the first sectors. Fran has retired, so he's manually retired the car. Luckily that won't cause a safety car or affect one, because if it did, it could be reported and could get a penalty applied. And it's a shame that Fran is the first retirement. So both Alphas not scoring any points today, and that basically confirms they will be stone last in the Constructors. As we will look on the standings just to make sure I'm correct. Yeah, they will be staying in 10th then, so it's a shame, Alpha Male, as Jamie has rejoined. He needs to retire the car. There's yellow flags. Is that Casper? No, that's Diego. Diego's lost the car a little bit. And Jamie will need to retire.
Sondre's trying to go through, but he can't quite make it.
Jamie hasn't retired,
Jack
has
gets
he?
through up into 13th, by the way.
Jack's 17th for me.
No.
Right, he needs to retire.
Jamie hasn't retired. He hasn't taken control of his car yet either, though.
As here comes Kaj then. He's trying to make a fight back on Lewis Curtis. Lewis Curtis currently in 4th place. Only one of the Williams drivers is in 3rd right now. And it isn't Matthew Alder. Matthew Alder's in 6th. Closing. Oh, a bit of contact there between Kaj and Lewis as they're going side by side through turn 3. The position is to Kaj. And I'm sorry to cut you off there, Kevin, but this fight is getting
I was going to say,
personal.
Jack Lefty going for a move on Brett. He's going to go the long way around in turn 3, and it looks like he might be able to make it work as well. He has actually been able to make it work. Can Ollie Flavel maybe do the same as his teammate? No, Brett goes back down the inside. He goes deep. It'll allow Jack to get a switchback, but he loses the rear end, and he's going to have to concede that position.
Well, it's very similar actually between Lewis Curtis and Jack Laverty. Not Jack Laverty, Kaj. Kaj did the switchback there and made the move quite easy on Lewis Curtis, but look who it's opened the door to. The clutches of the 2-time world champion Matthew Alder. He is really strong in that Williams right now, on the pace, on those intermediate conditions, and gaining a lot of time. He's definitely looking for a podium position in today's race, and he's really looking hungry. He hasn't got anything to prove, as I said earlier on in quali, but as the rain, you were right, it looks like it is dying down a little bit. Still in his condition, so you could be right with the dries possibly near the end of this race. As here comes Matthew now, open the door, goes on the inside. Lewis gives him plenty of space. Lewis stays on the racing line, possibly going to help him actually into turn 1 if Lewis wants to give it a go. And no, Lewis lets him by, and he doesn't really want to fight Matthew right now, which possibly could be a benefit.
Speaking of Matthew, he's going to turn 3. He was opposite locking the whole way through and keeps his car. It's just turning the wrong way, like turn right to go left.
Yeah, I did catch that. The rear end was a bit unstable. As Eric's out.
Yellow flags. Yep. Eric.
Oh, he's lost. That's a weird place to lose it. As Jamie's pitted, he needs to retire. He's going to get disqualified. Well, will we see the instant? No, the instant has gone, but it looked like Eric just lost it through turn 3. As Pedro now is looking hungry for the lead, same with Cameron. But back on Eric. Eric looks like he lost it through turn 3 and his right front tyre just went clean off. That's Pedro, as we don't get the best camera view. He's gaining on Devin, so it looks like it's going to be Renault versus Ferrari versus Williams. All we need now is a McLaren.
You can, when you say Williams as well, you may as well include Matthew in that, because he's not too far behind. He's really getting through this pack, and he's just behind Ellen, I think. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was making a move very soon. I would say probably at the end of this lap on the straight, he could be making it.
Yeah, that is true, of course. Matthew is gaining a lot of time. Kaj is his next victim, and I think he's actually going to get past Kaj before Pedro can get past Devin, so we'll keep an eye on that battle as well. But there is another battle actually, Kevin, for 10th place. Ori, Pavel, Brett and Casper are all fighting down there. And Sandra is actually fighting for 13th with Diego, so both Haas drivers, one's trying to go for an overtake and one's defending. And right now the Haas drivers are not doing...
Yeah, for Sondre though, he does, you can't see it, but there is a Ferrari in between Diego and Sondre.
Ah. So that's where Jack Yates is, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Interesting. Alright then, as Brett there and Casper are still fighting it out. Matthew Order is on the tail of Kaj. Kaj goes on the outside. Gets the move done quite easily. Will he wait and go for a possible dive into turn 1? No, he stays behind. Let's see if he'll get a better run, and see if Matthew makes that mistake again through turn 3. Matthew rides the curb a little bit. Rear end goes a little bit there, and that's probably because just him riding the curb. Tyres probably were a bit slippy on a slippy surface, but now he's in 5th.
Went deep. He almost at the back of that Ferrari, and now actually Brandon's going to be able to take advantage and go through.
That was very close from
opportunistic from Brandon.
Yeah, very optimistic. It was very close. It wasn't contact. Brandon could have given him a bit more room. He was significantly alongside. Brandon was being very, very aggressive there. Not dangerous, I would say, but a bit too close. Brandon makes a mistake though, and here comes Sondre. Could the Butterhog? Oh, Ball's made a mistake.
Sondre makes a mistake.
Both drivers today.
Not as big of a mistake though.
No, not that big. Lost a little bit of time. Luckily, he didn't plant it in the wall. But Bran and Sondre are definitely becoming the bottle hogs today. Matthew Orr then moved up to 4th place, as Pedro's still trying to fight for Devin. So we'll go on board with Mike and Jack Laverty for 8th place right now. All Jack Laverty needs to do is score a point, and he'll move up to 2nd place at the moment. Cameron Young's going to score 15 points. Matthew Orr sets a new fastest lap, 1:18.5. So that's 15 points. I don't know what points gap he is on actually. Let me check that. He's on...
Oh, Jack Livesey had a look down the inside there. He decided against it, but he looks very punchy right now. Looks like he's going to seize any opportunity he can to get past... I'm not sure he said his name at the start. The Renault in
Mike.
8th.
Yeah, Mike. That's Mike.
Okay, yeah, so it looks like he's looking very punchy, and he's going to look for any opportunity to get past Mike then.
That is true, of course. And right now, Pedro could actually tie on points for Cameron Young. Yell's in sector 2. That's a Red Bull.
That's Brett. That's Brett. He's gone around at the exit of turn 5 there. Similar to where Sondre almost lost it. Looks like Brett did lose it, and he's down to 16th.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there for him. And yeah, that is very unfortunate, as we're on the battle for P2 now. Sorry, P1. Pedro is a lot closer this time to Devin. He needs to make an attack soon, because he's getting caught by Matthew Alder and Cameron Young.
Matthew Alder just set the fastest lap, as you said that as well, so he's definitely catching this top 3, and he can see them now, all 3 of them, when he comes through turn 1. So I'm sure he can see that now, and he can kind of go, yeah, it is possible to get this race win.
That's true, of course. And right now then, we'll keep an eye out. If anyone would like to leave a comment, who do you think is going to win this race, put it in the comments. But there's a nice tasty fight now for, well, I would say the lead. Well, now I can say the lead because Jack Yates now being dropped back down to 15th. But for the top position between 4 cars, Pedro, Cameron Young and Matthew all want Devin's position, as Devin is been leading from, I believe, lap 3. So, and there's other fights further behind as well. Favel now is trying to catch up with Mike, so Jack Laverty is trying to pull away possibly. Jamie now is into 16th place, however he won't be 16th because he'll be disqualified and will be 19th. Pedro is not that close this time now, Kevin, so I think that mistake he made possibly through turn 3 has lost him a little bit of time and is now let both Williams drivers slowly catch up a little bit more now.
Yeah, I wouldn't count Elting out of it either. Once that kind of gets into like a proper train of 4 cars, he could catch up to that and maybe come back into this race, because I'm pretty sure he was the one who was on pole. I'm not completely sure about that.
Oh yeah, he was on pole. Yeah, he was pole. He just made a mistake somewhere apparently. Another thing I can't speak. What I'm wondering about is Williams drivers 3rd and 4th. Cameron is the driver ahead, so he has priority in the pit lane. Will Matthew let him pit first if he's in front of him, or will Matthew tell Cameron, here, I need you to stay out for an extra lap so I can do a good lap, good out lap, and then you can pit.
If Matthew does on priority, he's going to have to get past him before around lap 18, because that would be half distance, and that would be where you kind of expect people to be coming in. So he would have to make that move on his teammate. If he wants this whole position to see what happens, then maybe that would make it different, but I don't see any reason why he wouldn't go for the move. So,
I think Pedro is a little bit closer this time. He is in the ERS overtake. He's now realised the Williams are starting to catch up. He's going to go for a dive. No, can't make it. Not enough downforce.
There is a fight for P9 right now.
I see that.
Ollie has caught up to the back of Mike. Jack obviously got past him at some other point. Ollie is looking down the inside. They were side by side into through turns 2 and 3. Looks like Mike is going to just about hold him off, but Ollie's such a better exit, he might be able to have a look down the inside maybe. He is looking for it, but he is going to have to stick behind for now.
Well, another thing Ollie's going to have to look out for.
He's almost lost the back end.
Oh, Brett's out. Brett's crashed it actually near the pit lane. That's a VSC. Now, will people pit under the VSC? I'm wondering. There's a possibility of pit.
Yeah, because the pit window would be around lap 18.
But can enter his last 20 laps?
Yeah, pitting the extra few laps earlier though.
No, Devin stays out. Pedro's in.
Pedro's gonna pit, and so is Matthew Alder.
Well, so Matthew told possibly Cameron, I need the pit stop, and Cameron's letting him.
And
Kaj comes in as well.
Elntink and Lewis Dainstar is gonna come in as well.
Well, Jack's in.
Jack Levity's gonna come in. And also Mike. Ollie's going to stay out because his teammate is taking advantage of it. I'd say the people at the back aren't going to take advantage of it because they probably
Casper's in.
VSC would probably go away.
Well, Sondra pit. Yep, Sondra's pitting.
I don't think Sondra would get much of a benefit though. I'd say he would go away too quickly, but we'll see, of course.
I will when Jack Yates now moves back down the grid.
Now.
Gap to leader then. What is it? From Pedro. Let's see what the gap. I think a pit stop already is 22 seconds, probably 23.
Yeah, and
looking
at it, Matthew didn't even lose P4. He stayed P4 after his pit stop, and Pedro loses the 1 position. Matthew seems quite close to him after his pit stop now, and of course.
Well, Matthew's actually going to be second, possibly.
Fresh tires.
Matthew could be net second. He's going to jump Cameron and Devin. They need to pit. Cameron cut the curb a little bit there. Is Devin going to pit? Yep, Devin's in. Cameron is in. We'll have a pit stop battle between the Ferrari and the Williams team.
Is he going to speed? Did he speed? No, he didn't.
Nope.
That was,
He stays within.
very close though.
So who's going to win
here
then?
Comes Pedro. Surely Pedro's gonna jump both of these people, and he is. And Matthew should be able to do the same. Where is Cameron? Cameron is almost. Oh, that's
He got held up there. Matthew's going to take second.
He almost.
He's done it again with the strategy call. Matthew has done a masterclass. He's now in second place, but he has a task to do and make those tyres last to the end of the race. However, Ollie, Diego, Brandon are the only ones out on 16 lap old inters. They're possibly expecting another safety car so they can pit and go on fresh inters to the end.
Yeah, they might be dark horses though, because their tyres won't go off so much. There's only going to be 2 laps in difference, so I'm not sure how much of a difference it would really make. But yeah, I guess we're going to see by the end how much of a difference 1 lap fresher tyres can do with Devin and Cameron, and also I guess how other people who opted not to take advantage of the safety car, virtual safety car.
Well, that is true, of course, and you also have to play into account that the rain is lightening up. It was a lot wetter a couple of laps ago, and it's dried up a little bit. It's still spitting, but maybe
That
this is
might
why
be
they're staying out.
then, yeah, that might be why
Matthew
they
improves,
took advantage
18
then.
flat. Ollie's lost a bit of time, under a bit of pressure now from Kaj. But is Matthew gaining? Yes, he is on Pedro, so we could see a final fight. Who's going to be better in these conditions? Will it be Matthew or will it be Pedro? Matthew lost to Pedro in Germany, so this might be a little bit of payback. As Cameron Young is in 6th, Devin, who was the net leader, in 5th place. Kaj jumps them actually as well. He's in 4th, and he was leading at the start of the race, so it's roughly back in order. The only dark horse we do have in near the top is Ollie Flavel. When will he pit? As Matthew Order is really picking up the pace. 1 second exactly now to Pedro, and he's really catching up, but there's a nice fight for P3 at the moment. It's going to be a very easy move to make, especially with those tyres. And also we'll see roughly how long those inters can take with Ollie's car, if they could last 20 laps. If they can last 20 laps by only losing a little bit of time, Matthew can make them to the end with Pedro with a lighter fueled car. Cameron sets a new fastest lap, 17.6, miles quicker than his teammate by 4/10, and he's picking up the pace to try and catch up with Devin and trying to make the overtake as Kaj makes a move on an overtake on Ollie Flavel. Dane's pitted, so Diego pitted, only could make them 18 laps there, Kevin.
Yeah, I've just been looking at the fight for second. Pedro can't actually take it. If he were to win, which he is in a winning position right now, he would take P4 just behind P3 and P2.
Ooh, dive from Cameron, sorry to cut you off. Cameron's just dived that on Devin there, which is not really an overtaking corner. Wow, what a move. And Cameron moves up to 5th, Devin into 6th. And as you were saying, Kevin, sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah, Cameron won't get second in this position. He'll get 88 points, so nowhere near 102. And right now, Midnight, or Jack Levity rather, is, well, I started saying it, he wasn't, but now he is in the position he needs to grab that second place. And despite other people being further up the order, he will take that P2.
That's good to hear. And well, Cameron actually will be beaten by Pedro right now, because Pedro's currently winning this race. And Cameron Young now makes a move on Ollie Flavel. Very easy move, and he's probably been motivated by his teammate in P2 to pick up the pace to try and get Williams 1-2 this season. I wonder if these two drivers are going to be teammates in Season 8, I wonder. Because I have heard talks from the Williams team and from Matthew that there's a possibility that they could be teammates. Cameron's been a very strong teammate for Matthew this season. That's why the won the Constructors a bit easier than Renault did last season. But right now, as the game says, Jack Yates is in first when he's not. I can't really see the delta times at the moment. Is there any other battles on track there, Kevin?
There is a bit of a fight between Jack Yates and Sondre, but you can't see that. And apart from that, there really is nothing to watch. I would say fifth is the best battle, really.
Okay, well, we'll go on to fifth then, as I was on Cameron, and now Ollie's getting challenged by Devin. Now Ollie's on 18 lap old inters. Will he pit? Diego pitted on 18. Brandon is on 19. Ollie stays out, and he's expecting dry weather. It is brightening up, you are right, so we could see possibly dry weather in the next 5 laps in this race as Devin's going on the outside through turn 1 into turn 2, gets the move. Ollie tries to switch, try and get a better grip on those tyres.
Lewis might be going for a move on Ollie as well. He'll want to make this move as he goes way off the track, and he's actually lost it.
Oh, Lewis gone.
On the exit, Lewis has lost his whole front wing. Luckily, he's able to continue.
I didn't see that because unfortunately I didn't get the best camera view on Ollie, and I couldn't switch to Kevin in time. With Devin in time, sorry. And Lewis has got no front wing. You say, oh yes, he hasn't. He's got the nose, but no front wing. That is a shame for him. VSC.
Yeah, on the curb, he lost. It's probably similar to what Eric did earlier. He got up on the curb, he lost it, tried to correct, and then he was into the wall.
Well, there's a VSC out then. Ooh, Ollie almost rear ends Devin there. Ollie needs to be careful and pays attention, because if he don't, he's going to have to come in for the pits.
And no more VSC, so no one's going to be able to take advantage in the pits either.
Yep, that is true, of course. And I'll tell you a person who has took advantage is Ollie a little bit. He's getting a little bit of time on Devin, so Devin must have slowed down a bit. He was slowing down quite a lot.
Pedro got a little bit further away. It doesn't look like Matthew had the best restart there.
Possibly.
Pedro
Ollie's in.
Of the...
Yep, Ollie's in then.
1 second window, I guess.
I wonder if Brand's going to pit. Since there's no other fights really I can see at the moment. Will Brand pit? No, Brand stays out. I've seen Brand before managed to make inters last to 26 laps, but I don't know what he's trying to prove, how long he can take them. I know he's very good at managing his tyres in these conditions, and he's very good on the intermediate tyre. He's done 21 laps at the moment, and Jack Laverty on 6 laps old inters is gaining a lot of time. Ooh, a little look, but went back on the racing line as Jack Laverty, where he is going to be on 104 points. Oh, a bit of contact there between Brandon and Jack. Brandon looked like he just let off completely and either tapped his brake. I don't know why he's weaving. He was completely in wrong. Slowing down there that is the racing line. So if if Brandon's not careful, could be a penalty applied. As it looked like the mistake you made in Bahrain, Kevin. It looked like you went down a gear or something. But he slowed extremely down. It's Brandon then. He's in 8th. Still needs to pit. I'm losing a lot of time as there's no other fights I can see set for 13th.
Lewis is going down the inside of Sondre Storhog. He's going to have to try and hang it around the outside now. Battle for 14th, that is.
Ooh, Sondre
loses it. And Lewis hits his rear end. He doesn't get wing damage, luckily. So they will be able to fight another day. And Jack Yates, you can't see, are just ahead of these two, so maybe he'll be able to get away if these fight a little bit.
That's right. Lewis Curtis is really struggling on the inters completely. He may be running a dry setup, but it was nobody's fault with that little bit of contact between Sondre and Lewis there. Just look at Sondre lost control of the cars. Now here comes Lewis Curtis round the outside, going to go into turn 1. I don't think Sondre's going to really fight. Well, Sondre may go a bit deep. He's still there. Going to try the switch. I know what Sondre's playing. He's playing the switch card. Is he going to get a good exit? Lewis has a bad exit.
Oh, and Lewis, yeah.
Yet again, he's struggling through turn 3.
Curb a little bit.
But no attack from Sondre, and he stays behind. Not the ball hard, I like saying.
He had an initial better exit, but he wasn't able to go around the outside because Lewis wasn't going slow enough, and so he had to stick behind. And in doing so, he had to brake a small bit or slow down at least, as to not hit the back of Lewis. So because he had to slow down that little bit, he wasn't able to take advantage of Lewis's bad exit.
That is true, of course, and Lewis Curtis then is in 13th. He did say, I believe, he got a podium last week, and I believe he said that he could get a podium today, but unfortunately that podium wish or dream he had is completely out the window, as he's currently in 13th place, as Mike is now started a...
and he's
Lewis
lost the back end.
Yeah, again, I caught that just
Sondre
in time.
will be able to get a bit of a run on him now.
Oh, Sondre goes deep though through that corner, a bit too wide there.
See if damage.
Who, Lewis or Sondre?
Sondre.
No damage on the front wing of his car, in my view. But there is another fight to the head, which I'll keep an eye on.
He is making a few little mistakes, and it looks like if he had wing damage, he could blame that. But
I would say that's just classic bottle hog. No offence to him. He ain't that very, he ain't that good in the
Lewis
conditions.
is getting past Jack Yates. It should be a pretty standard move, I think. As no, actually, Jack holds it.
Did he go around the outside?
He did just that, and he has made the move up into 13th.
Okay, I don't see that. We'll go on board with Mike then. Now, I was actually going to go on board with Mike when he made that mistake for Lewis.
And now Sondre's down the inside of Jack.
I can't see any of that, unfortunately, and it's unfortunate the stream can't either. There's one lap, 25 out of 36. Brandon Glover has took those inters 23 laps. Will he pit? No, he stays out for another lap. And he's 8th as well. And the thing is, Mike's only just catching him up, so Mike's tyres now starting to fade. So, as the inters, when they do 10 laps, they've just got optimal pace, it looks like, because Brand's managed to keep the gap roughly stable between 8 tenths to a second. He has closed a little bit this time, Mike.
Sondre, and I'm not sure if you have a fight to commentate over, but the fight between Sondre and Jack, they're going down the inside, around the outside of each other everywhere. Like they were side by side down like half of the start finish straight, as well as Jack came out on top of that, and then to turn one, Sondre was able to go back down the inside. So it's a really nice little battle that they're having down on 14th.
That is true, of course, and well, actually, will be a battle I will be commentating on very shortly, possibly between Bran and Mike. And will Bran pit? That's what I need to know. Will Bran pit? As Sondre gets a 3-second time penalty added to his time for cutting corners, and that is not good news for the Toro Rosso team, as they were hoping to score points today, and they're not going to score any at the moment. And it looks like the Ferrari team. The Ferrari team are definitely beating the Haas. Then they're going to stay. Possibly, actually, they could move to 5th. Actually, where's Devin? Devin's 5th, 10 points. Oh, he needs one more position to beat the racing point. Or unless Jack Yates somehow scores points, there'll be 1 point off racing point at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't look likely given where they are.
Mike makes a mistake.
To pick up those points.
Mike makes a big mistake and lost a lot of time there. Second now, he's in the clutches of Ollie, who's only a second off him. And there's another fight further up as well between Danestar and Mike. Not Mike, Jack Laverty. There's too many M's. As Jack Laverty now is in 7th, then going to challenge for 6th in the McLaren. He's had a very good season, challenging Matthew at certain points of the season. Unfortunately, hasn't been really a championship contender. Maybe next season with Cameron Young and Jay and possibly some new drivers possibly could challenge Matthew Older. As here comes Dane then and Jack Laverty. They're getting closer and closer. Jack Laverty is going to make the move on the inside. Oh, that was a very late defending. And Jack Laverty goes on the outside of Dane. Doesn't make it work. Trying to switch, it looks like. Is Brandon in? No, Brandon's done 26 laps on those inters. He's about to beat his record.
Going for a move on Mike.
You keep
down
the
inside of turn 1, he's going to have to try and hang it around the outside. He decides not to. Gets a switchback line, a better line. Could he maybe go on the inside for the next corner? He is going to choose the inside line. He is just about enough side by side, and he is going to brake late. Can Michael around the outside? It looks like he has done that, but Ollie's still there though. And he's going to be able to maybe hang it around the outside, although Mike looks like he has a better line. He'll be able to dictate it. No. Ollie still hangs it.
Oh, that was very brave.
He is maybe going to come on top. He doesn't. they've been going side by side pretty much since turn 5, the exit of turn 5 now.
Yeah, I've just caught that.
And it looks like he's going to go back down the inside. He's going to try it, but surely it's
Ollie's got it. Yeah, Ollie's got the position. It's too late now. But Ollie there was very brave.
Is it too late, though?
God, Renault, Mike, still there. And they're losing time to Brand because of this. And Brand, will he do another lap? Oh, Mike almost loses the rear end there. Saves it. And the Haas driver, Diego, could get a point.
Oh, and Lewis is off the track again. Doesn't look like Sandra is going to be able to capitalise on it at all, but it looks like he made mistakes through the fast left hand.
Diego.
Sorry to cut you off.
Diego just tried to make a lunge. He's trying to go on the inside of Mike. Mike almost loses it. And I think Diego tried a big dive bomb. Unfortunately, it didn't work. But look at this now. He's getting a good run. Oh, that was possibly illegal. That was two moves.
That was questionable. Yeah.
I'm positive that was 2 moves. His yellow's further behind. Is that Lewis? It is Lewis. Lewis has lost it the same place where Eric lost it, and now where he lost it. He ain't going to get a penalty if Jamie hits him because, yeah. But wow, I wasn't expecting that from Diego. As Brandon has done 27 laps on those.
Oh, look at this. Eltink is maybe going for a move on Cameron Young into turn 1. This is for the podium position as well.
We'll go on board with that then. It's more important.
It looks like he tried, or was that Cameron getting past Eltink? I think it was.
No, Cameron was... Oh no, yeah, actually, yeah, it was. Cash was in third. Been, yeah. Cameron now moves up to 3rd place then, and there's another battle for the lead. Matthew Order only 6/10 off. We will go on board if he gets a bit closer.
And Brandon going side by side into turn 1.
We will go on board with that right now, and actually Diego as well.
Angles for both.
Ooh, side by side, touching side pods. Ollie and Brand have been at wars with each other a few times this season. In Germany they had a bit of contact. Diego still hasn't got past Mike. Bran is on 28 lap old intermediate tyres. Do you think Bran's going to the end of the race on those inters?
Oh, no, he kind of touched the back of the rear of Brandon and almost spun him. Is Brandon going to the end of this race? He'll probably get a puncture by then as Lewis goes out.
BSC, he's lost it same place again. Will Pedro have enough time?
Oh, Eltink is pitting. Eltink is going to take advantage of this VSC.
Kaj is in. 6 laps to go. It's going to be a big push. Hang on. Is it me or are my eyes deceiving me? It stopped raining. He's gone on softs.
He is going on softs.
Has he now pulled a masterclass strategy?
And so is
Devin.
I think that's Devin, yeah.
Devin, Ferrari pit crew, slick pit stop, soft tyres. So both cars in.
The Williams... Oh, I think it's still in just conditions, but people are thinking that they'll gain enough time on the VSC that when it actually is dry that they'll have gained the time back. But
it's 20 seconds,
we'll see
6
how
laps.
Eltink does. He comes out in P4.
It's going to be a push.
Masterclass, but and he's gone way too. Oh well.
Yeah, he's gone off to Narnia. I'm back. VSC has opened up.
There's Brandon and no, that's Danestar and Jack Levy. So the other McLaren and Mercedes going at it. As I see Eltink in front of them on softs,
yellows.
It doesn't look like he's doing at all well.
Brand's
you can see the difference. Ollie's going to fly past in here.
Brand
and so
pitted.
Is,
Kevin, Brand pitted. He must have crashed or spun it in the pit lane. He's been reset the track, and he spun it on the reset. Brand, yeah, it's not softs yet. Maybe next lap, but it's not softs.
Yeah, Eltink lost 2 positions midnight, and Danestar went, or Jack Levy and Danestar went straight.
More yellows.
Straight through.
What for? What's the yellow?
It could be for someone on softs, really.
No, there's no one in that vicinity unless it was Brian just now, but it was before Brian was even in that position. So I don't know. Danestar's in 5th, showing possibly some good points to Mercedes.
Oh, yeah, Devon's had a horrible exit as well. It looks like now Cassie G is going to go straight past him. Casper Gilling it is.
I think it's going to be dry in the next couple of laps.
I wouldn't be surprised if Devon went too deep. We'll see what happens. Casper's going to go on the inside.
Yeah, you're right. He goes miles deep.
Way too far out. And you
it's
can
not
see
slicks.
the spray as well.
Yeah.
There's still spray. It's still just.
Well, right now,
The
Pedro.
softs just can't clear enough water.
Pedro is absolutely destroying Matthew. I did say Matthew hadn't got out to prove, so maybe Matthew might let him win. Oh,
Here comes Ollie Flavel on Elting now for P6.
we'll go on board with him then.
I'm sure Ollie wouldn't mind that. And
Very easy.
He takes
Oh.
that, and now also
Diego. That was very
Diego's gonna run
ambitious.
inside.
Especially with those softs, you can't trust the car. If it's on into struggling, it could lose control completely. And now both Haas drivers are in the points, so they're going to score some points today. But not enough. Actually, they could
Jack
actually
Yates
jump
could come
Ferrari.
back for points here.
Where's Jack Yates?
Jack Yates is in 11th if you take out Jamie.
Well, Devin's
and he's
10th.
Basically, if you pretty much right now, if you take where Jamie is, just pretend that's Jack because they're on the same part of track.
Right. So if Devin scores a point, Haas only needs to score 2 points to jump Ferrari right now. And it looked like Devin was going to win or get more points than them. And both Haas drivers are 7th and 8th. So that's 6. That's 10 points alone. Oh, Kaj is out. He's manually retired. He's given
Oh,
up.
it actually looks. It kind of looks like dry conditions now. It looks a little better.
And I'm guessing Jack
a
Yates
little
now
bit
10th.
drier. Jack Yates is actually pitting for softs now.
Okay, yeah. So it's
Yes, obviously he got the cold, and if he didn't, then you can just see it's dry enough. I mean, it is kind of clearly dry enough. Oh no. Oh, don't tell. Elting's car held up Jack in the pits because it wasn't moving. It was on the pit side. Like his AI car, like his retired car, was in the way of Jack Yates, and Jack Yates' car had to stop.
Gotcha. Well, I just want to say somebody retired manually on track, and it was the other Ferrari. So Haas are going to jump Ferrari then into 6th place. At the moment, Haas are going to be 6th. Ferrari going to drop to 7th. So Ferrari, not a good season that much for them. They're going to lose a position, and Haas are going to be happy. And Denso right now is trying to attack Jack Glavity. The only actual battle we have on track. There is a battle between Jamie and Sondre, but as I said earlier, Jamie's actually not in this race. So on lap 33, Brian actually pitted back for into tyres, so he knew it wasn't dries and it was a gamble to take. And the fastest lap at the moment is from Jamie, a 17 flat, but if we remove that, it's actually a 17.6. That's from Cameron Young.
Yeah, it looks like it's still injures, but it is a crossover point though, because you can see how dry the track's getting.
It is at the crossover point, but
it's-
there's still spray. There's still a lot of spray coming from those tyres.
And it looks like Brandon's going to go straight past Jack Yates now. He is.
As I'm guessing, Brand's actually overtaken Jack Yates now then, right?
Yeah, he has. He got him at the.
It's
start of
actually
the
showing me
start
where
first
he is, finally. I was right.
No, right. Is he? Is it?
He's in
For me,
turn
it's
3
just-
now. Is he? Exit
Oh,
turn 3.
it looks fixed. Yeah, I'm looking at the stream. It is actually. It seems fixed now.
Yeah, I think it's because someone left a session in the same car. I think that's what changed it, possibly. But I'll tell you who's done a magnificent job on lap 34 is Pedro. Matthew has to catch 2 laps, right? Unless somehow Pedro's got a penalty, which I don't think he has. But he has to gain a second per lap to catch up with Pedro, but those tyres are 18 laps old. We've seen the tyres can last up to 28 laps from Brandon. Do you think he's got enough tyre life to catch up with Pedro, or do you think Pedro's going to take the win and both Williams drivers are going to stay where they are?
I'm not sure how penalties is going to play out, but I feel like Pedro's without any penalties interfering, I feel like he's going to keep that win. There's only 2 laps left. Matthew's going to have to really pick up the pace if he wants this race win, and I think it's just a little bit too far out of reach.
Well, the penultimate lap then, lap 35. I have 36 laps in Brazil. Close battle we do have on track right now is between Jack Yates and Dane. 1.1 seconds. Oh, Dane makes a mistake. Runs very deep there through turn 3, and he's low on fuel. And that attack to try and catch up with Jack is out the window, and he needs to save a little bit of fuel just to make it to the end of the race. As right now though, we will go on board with the leader. Pedro, currently in the lead. He actually will be the first Brazilian actually to win his own race, because he actually is Brazilian, I believe. Yes, he is. I'm positive he is. Yeah, Pedro is actually Brazilian, so this will be the first Brazilian in IRL to win their home race. And Pedro will be happy, and the Brazilians will be roaring like they roared Felipe and Senna and Rubens Barrichello. So they'll be roaring for Pedro for next season to challenge Matthew Alder, because Pedro has been there at certain points against Matthew and the Williams team. He's done a very good job this season, and for the finale I think he has the win in the bag. 3.6 seconds, so if he did have a penalty by 3 seconds, Matthew needs to gain 4/10 at least to pull that job off.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there on Pedro being up there consistently. I mean, he's taken I think 2 or 3 race wins as well, so I mean he can certainly put himself in a winning position if you put him in a winning position. I think you can rely on him most of the time to stay there, and he's done just that. I mean, he's led most of this race after that VSC. He came out in the lead, and despite Matthew hunting him down and being quite close to him as Matthew loses the rear end, but yeah,
here he comes in.
He's dominated ever since he took the lead. He crosses the line, he's going to take the win as well. So dominant from him.
Oh, Matthew had a penalty. 6.5.
Half of the race.
Cameron also had a penalty apparently. 3.1. Maybe that's why Matthew didn't push. So both Williams then, second and third. Jack Laverty is going to take a lonely 4th. Now, is that Brandon? It is Brandon. Yep, it is Brandon.
And I think Sondre is going to be joining him soon too. I wouldn't be surprised if Brandon waited.
Ollie takes 6th.
And
Diego
maybe Jack Yates will join as well.
Oh yeah, I can see that now. Casper will take 8th. They can do donuts after these lot have passed the line. There we go. Jamie won't be 9th, so Sondre will, if he crosses the finish line. Oh no, he's just crashed it. He is just.
Oh.
I caught that.
The line actually for P9 between Mike and Jamie, although Jamie is going to get disqualified.
As Brandon then is going to do donuts for the crowd, and unfortunately Mercedes have been the runner-up this season in the Drivers' Championship and in the Constructors, but it's glad we got that crash of the Bottle Hog himself on the final lap. But Brand there showing it as DRS is now enabled, so it is slick conditions. Great game. There's Brand there showing the Brazilian crowd. It's been a great season for every driver in IRL. It's been great to commentate yet again. I've enjoyed it. And here comes Brandon Glover then. He's coming across to the line and will finish, I believe, P12. Yes, with Jamie getting disqualified. As Adam says, Sondre is a bottle, and I cannot agree anymore. I don't think that was a punch to Sondre. I think he just steered a little bit the wrong way. But there's your man on the top step of the podium, Pedro, and you can see how bad those interviews were, blistering. Pedro then takes the win. I believe that's his 2nd win this season. Cameron Young takes third. Is it his 3rd?
I know he won in Germany and here. I'm sure.
No, Germany was his 1st win.
Pedro.
So
yeah, no, it is actually 2nd.
Matthew Alder finished 2nd. Cameron Young finishes in 3rd place. Well then, we'll have the official results then. Pedro then takes the win with a 1:17.9. Matthew Alder in 2nd. Cameron Young did a 17.6. Now that is the provisional fastest lap because Jamie's doesn't count. Jack Laverty in 4th. Dane Starr 5th. Oliver Pavel 6th. Diego finishes in 7th. Casper in 8th. So it is confirmed that both Haas drivers for the Haas team have beaten Ferrari, and Ferrari now dropped to 6th place. Haas, I believe, are in 5th now. Mike in 9th, scored Renault 2 points, I believe. Jamie in 10th, but will be disqualified. So Sondre does technically take 10th, even though he crashed on the last lap. Jack Yates takes 12th, and Brandon Glover takes 13th. But it'll be the other way around. Jack will take 11th, Brandon will take 13th, and so on. Could you just invite the top 3?
Yeah, I am on it, yeah.
Thank you very much. I don't think Pedro will join. I don't think he's got a mic. Just invite him in case he has. Well, it's been an amazing race at Brazil, and it's been awesome to commentate with 19 drivers, only 12 finishing, which is amazing. A few retirements on their own, making mistakes, and only one big crash, and that was at the start between Eric and Fran, unfortunately, which is quite surprising. While we wait for the top 3 then to be suggested and invited to the party, I'd say my highlight of today then was...
I've suggested Brandon and Sondre. I'm not sure if you want to invite them or not, but they probably have a few words to say.
Yep, I probably will invite them as well, but just as before we do invite the top 3 in, Brandon and Sondre, a highlight of the race then, Kevin, what was yours?
I would say probably the VSC, where some people did pit, some people didn't, and obviously it worked out better for Matthew and Pedro, who took first and second. I think Cameron probably could have said, no, actually Matthew, I'm going to take advantage of this VSC. He was the car ahead, but obviously decided to give it to his teammate, which is fair enough, but yeah, I think that's probably my highlight.
Well, I think my highlight today was Matthew, and Matthew's pace all day. He's just from near the back, he's just pushed it, tried to win, but unfortunately it didn't play out right, and he got 2nd place, so he will be happy with that at least. As we will now invite the top 3, and we'll also invite Brandon Sondre if they have any information or anything. But yeah, we'll invite them all and allow. So we have invited them. If you guys did enjoy the race though, do hit that like button and subscribe if you're new and turn notifications on. And if you do want to race for next season or this season for F2 or F3, do go on Twitter, on Discord, and there's a Discord link. While we wait for the drivers to turn up, there is Brandon, Kevin suggested you as well. There is Matthew then. Well, we will start with the champion. Well, Matthew,
hello.
Fortunate you didn't win today, and also unfortunate you didn't start at the back of the grid like I wanted you to. But 2nd place, and how the race went, how did you enjoy it?
Well, I enjoyed it mainly, other than other than the VSCs, because every time I got near Faz, he would always get a good VSC jump, and then I wouldn't be next to him for a while.
So the VSC then was an issue then, as we did see. We did all see through turn 3 a couple of times, actually Kevin caught on it, that you were losing the rear end. You have to do a bit of corrective steering. Was that just lack of grip, or was that you just pushing a bit too much on those intermediate tyres?
It was probably me not being used to it, because every lap they would get worse, and it would just get really annoying. Every lap, like it felt like I was going to lose a back end around there.
Also, one quick final question for me, and then Kevin can ask you a question if he wants. With the first VSC, you, Pedro, decided to pit. Was there a bit order between you and Cameron, who pitted first. He was the car ahead, of course. He did have priority to pit first, of course. Did you have that talk with him, or did he say he wasn't pitting and just staying out?
He asked me if I was going to pit, and I said I was going to pit, and we made a deal that if we was in a 1-2, I would let him have the win.
Okay, then, so that's new information for me for the deal, because I thought that wasn't going to happen after Japan. But
well,
Kevin,
that was my question. So.
Oh, well, have you got any other questions to ask him? Anything like that?
No, not really.
No?
Just congratulations, of course, on the season as a whole. I mean, you've done amazingly, Matthew and Cameron, to pick up the Cameron a few podiums. You never actually got a win or a 1-2, unfortunately.
We did, Spain.
Yeah, you get one to Spain.
Oh yeah, Spain, you did. But yeah, solid season from both of you. You took the constructors, of course, and Matthew with the drivers. So congratulations to you both for that.
Well then, I'll let Cameron then start off with Cameron, and I'll probably ask him one final question if you want, Kevin. If you've got any other questions to ask him.
Well, I guess Cameron, your race, you started down in P6. Being in a podium position, did you expect that? Like from where you were starting and how the start of the race played out, or were you just gonna kind of play it by ear and just see how it went?
I mean, I think I was expecting to be up there today. I think everyone, maybe not Faz, but at least everyone in the top, 5 apart from Faz was running a dry setup. But I thought I'd easily be in it. It was a hard call with VSC because Matthew said he's pitting straight away, so I didn't want to pit obviously and then hold him up. So I mean, I was expecting to be there, but it's just annoying I couldn't get the win.
Yeah, well, congratulations on your P3 then, I guess, and good luck for next season, I guess, wherever you may be.
Well then, Cameron, question I would like to ask for next season: will you possibly be teammates again with Matthew, or is Matthew going to jump ship and go with a new driver for next season? That's a question I would like to ask.
I don't know. I mean, we've worked very well as a team. I don't see why not. I know there's another driver in contention. I'm not going to say who, but I mean, we've wrapped up the constructors pretty early. Good teammates, good communication. So hopefully we will be teammates again for next season.
Well, you've done a very good, solid season. You've been a lot stronger this season than season 6, as you were in the Haas in season 6. You did show a bit of pace near the end, but do you think for next season as well, could you challenge Matthew a bit more, possibly this time for the title, or do you think it's going to be a big task to try and do that?
I mean, depending on how quickly I adapt, because this is going to be used for my excuses, depending on how quickly I adapt to the wheel, obviously it's going to be a challenge. Like, I'd say I'm decent at the pad, but obviously I can't fight Matthew, so it's once again going to be hard, but nothing's impossible. But I think I'll just be maybe P3, P2 in the championship, maybe P4 with new drivers coming in, but yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see.
Okay then, well, thank you for the interview and congratulations on P3. Unfortunately you couldn't get a win today or second place, but it's been a good season from both Williams drivers. And now the admins, Bottlehaug, Brandon.
Hello.
Classic Bottlehaug crashing in the final lap. Have we got any info, any information you guys would like to tell people on stream for any new driver or anything like that?
Well, all I'll say is thank you to everyone taking part in F1 this season, and thank you too for commentating as well.
Thank you very much.
Obviously, all the info will be coming soon, hopefully, for the next season and whatever we're doing in between all that. And did you catch my donuts on stream?
Yes.
We
Brilliant.
did, yeah.
Yeah, thank you to everyone. And I don't know what Sandra's got to say, but
You pretty much said what I would have said. Obviously, thank you to all the drivers who's taken part. Thank you to the commentators. And yeah, just keep an eye out on our Twitter. Join our Discord if you're interested to be joining IRL for the future. And some info will be coming soon.
Well done. Kevin, have you got anything to add before I close the stream down?
No, it's just been I think a great season. Lots of battles throughout. Jay, of course, also kept Matthew honest until he was kind of he got his ban for the last race. But yeah, I think it's been a good season, and hopefully we'll get maybe a bit closer of a championship next season.
I hope so as well. We'll restrict Matthew to full traction, full assists. But all jokes aside, it's been a great season. I've enjoyed commentary for both seasons, season 6 and this season. I've enjoyed comms with you, and it's been a closer fight this year between Matthew and the other drivers. Hopefully we can have that next season as well. But this has been IRL Season 7 F1 at Round 12, the finale at Brazil. If you want to see more content, join us tomorrow for F2 and F3 at 4:30 UK time. Comms, I believe, will be brought by Jack Yates and Felix, or Sondre and Felix for F3, Sondre and Jack Yates for F3, and F2 will be Lance and Eric. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn notification bell on, and if you do want to join Discord, go on IRL Twitter. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye for now.